exactly what we've been doing up to this point, just adding on to that, being strict with it, making sure that what we've done to be successful, we carry it out for full games, every game that we play.
Yeah, I just say not being content with where we are or what we've done up to this point. Just take every game as it's our last opportunity and just go at it like we have been.
Just one more from me, for now at least. The last 4 games, opponents have gotten technical fouls against Iowa State. Is there something you guys do? Why? I mean, is it defense? or what frustrates them?
I think it's just our ball pressure, our intensity, just how much passion we show on the court, and I think we just frustrate the other team, and that's something that we try to do from the start of the game, put them on their heels and make them clash with each other, and we always come together. So I just say it's the effort that we put in, and it just puts them on their heels.
I think there's also a slight credit to how we don't react to calls that happen. Our coaching staff and us as players, we try to limit our reactions to calls or something not going wrong, and I think that helps us a lot too.
I guess this is more for Tamin specifically. You guys don't have as many 2 plays in the Big 12 this year because of the no round robin, but you didn't play against TCU the first time because of your shoulder. How does that affect your preparation or the team's preparation with a 2-play that you specifically didn't play in the first time?
Yeah, I think it's sort of an advantage just because I was obviously studying what they were doing while we were down there, knew that we were going to play them again later in the season. They haven't played against me this year, so it'll be different for them to guard and just bring another aspect to our team that they didn't see last time, and really just go out there and guard, bring more pressure like Key and Kurt were doing down there, turning them over and just being like that.
And then to follow up with Rob, I think you guys forced 27 turnovers, I think it was, against TCU the first time. Keyshawn, I know, had a few steals. I think Curtis had 6 or 7. From your perspective on the floor, what do you think led to the amount of success you had when we were watching the film of being able to turn TCU over like you did?
I'd say honestly, biggest credit to Tamin not being on the court, that Keyshawn and Kurt were able to step up and take his spot. I mean, when you lose out on one of your leaders like that in a big game on the road, everybody got to step up, and I think it's credit. The fact that Tamin was out means that Kurt and Keyshawn had to step up and take his place, and that sort of like pressure to fill that void kind of made him play a little harder, a little better, and ended up making more steals and turnovers.
To kind of go off what Rob was saying, Tamin, what have you seen from Keyshawn and Kurt to really step up these last, 5-6 games in Big 12 play, really ever since you sat out of the TCU game?
Yeah, I think my absence that game was probably a good thing for our team. Obviously, got out there with the win and got some other players to step up in big-time opportunities in a tough road game. And just more time on the court for other guys creates more comfortability for them out there. And they've just been thriving ever since that game, just getting better every game.
Tamin, what was it like for you having to sit out that game on the bench, watching?
First half, it was easy. You're scoring up like 20 points. I was having fun talking to the crowd. And then it got close at the end. But I always knew our guys were going to pull through. We come together in crunch time games, and it was an exciting game to watch for sure. It was hard not to be out there with my guys, but I was doing everything I could on the bench to support them or tell them what I was seeing out there. So just doing my part.
And for Rob, this kind of pertains to you. We talked about how you beat Iowa your last year here, and now you beat Texas, a team that Iowa State hasn't beat on the road since 2015. For you to kind of have this storybook ending with all the factors that are involved with playing Texas, what does that kind of mean to you?
Just means we got more games in front of us and more victories to achieve. Can't be satisfied with what we've done so far. The regular season games aren't even the important ones. It's how close can we be when stuff matters in the postseason. So just looking forward to getting closer with my teammates, my coaches, and seeing how far we can go.
Tamin, you were talking about having to watch that second half of TCU. You guys have had leads and then they get close late in games a couple different times. How much of that is just hard against Big 12 teams versus you guys being able to execute a little bit better down the stretch?
Yeah, I'd say it goes both ways, of course. Playing in the Big 12 is not easy. No team's going to just give up, especially on their home court. So you always expect teams to make runs, and that's part of basketball. And the other factor of that is they came in the second half and really attacked, got to the rim and rebounded at a high level. That's something that we didn't do in that second half to the ability that we should have. So they got close and creeped in, and then obviously able to pull away. But our main focus is obviously defense, pressuring the ball, and rebounding is really huge.
Pressure of the ball, the flip side of that is being able to have that pressure beat. Is that part of what happens late in games where you guys are still playing your style of defense and that can hurt you on the back end if you aren't able to execute at the highest level?
Some's fatigue a little bit, and then also just sometimes getting too extended. Obviously, fatigue sets in when you play 25, 30 minutes already in a game, and your defender's able to get by you a little more in the second half. But it's just being knowledgeable about that, maybe taking a step back, just trying to keep them in front a little bit better. First half is all about pressuring and setting the tone, and second half is sort of trying to maintain that pressure and tone. So I'd say realizing that your body's winded down a little bit, so maybe take a step back. But the goal for us is just keep them in front at all times and don't allow any paint.
In the last couple of weeks or so, the Big 12 is cracking down on coaches who stray too far out of the coaching box. Do you guys as players notice that when, I mean, like, J.B. Dixon last time you played him was everywhere. For example, and Drew was. And do you guys notice that when a coach is going ballistic out of the coach's box?
I would say not necessarily, just because it goes back to just like being consistent in like what we do and not reacting to anything. Just because in that sense, I'd say like because we're locked into what we're doing, we're not responding to the call that went our way. So usually what happens is the coach will get mad at the call that was against them, and us not reacting to it and moving on, regardless of if it's a good call or a bad call, and just getting on to what's next means that we're not focused on whatever reaction the other team is having, regardless if it's coach or player.